Here with former LPGA Tour player Liz Janangelo and she's a current assistant golf pro at the Mill River Club on Long Island. Liz, how are you doing today?
Great. Happy to be here. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, very excited to talk with a fellow Connecticut golfer. I see last night you got inducted into the Connecticut Golf Hall of Fame. So tell me, what does it mean to you to be inducted into the Connecticut Golf Hall of Fame?
Well, Connecticut and the CSGA, I mean, my golf career started here and it means so much to me. And it's interesting because now being a golf professional, I have a greater appreciation. So now I know what it takes and the selflessness of the volunteers to make the tournaments. And it really provided a great platform to me to play golf on. And, I owe everything to the CSGA. I definitely wouldn't have had a career at Duke and now in the golf business if it wasn't for them. So I'm so grateful to be in the Hall of Fame. And, there's so many names in there: Susie Whaley, Heather Daly D'Onofrio, people who I looked up to and played golf with, and to have my name etched in history next to theirs is truly special.
So you grew up in West Hartford, Connecticut. So tell me about growing up in West Hartford, Connecticut. What was it like growing up for you in West Hartford, Connecticut?
West Hartford's a great town. I went to Conard High School, and I grew up initially playing golf at Rockledge. My parents would drop me off, and I had a couple of guy friends, and I was young, and they'd give me like $5 and they say go play, and we'd play 18 holes. We get lunch at the snack bar, and then we play more. And I think, can't remember how many, maybe we played 54 holes, walk and carry our bag. But to grow up at Rockledge and to have a course like that, and Rich Crow was truly helpful with me and always inspired me to work hard. I think an interesting story is my dad lost his job, and we ended up renting a golf course, a house on the back of the range. And I'd sneak out at Rockledge. I'd steal all the golf balls on the range, and I'd bring them back to my yard. And one day I see a golf cart, coming over, and Rich Crow was in there, and he's like, "Look, I can't have you taking these golf balls from the range. Like, you're going to get hurt." And he goes, "So I love that you love the game so much." Oh, my phone fell. And, it would mean I would truly love if you could just take this little range card and you can get golf balls. So every day I went and I'd hit golf balls for hours and hours. And, it's all because of Mr. Crow and what he did for me. He didn't want me to get hurt. And so I hit, hundreds of balls every day. And, things happen for a reason. It was unfortunate. My dad lost his job, but it was fortunate that we rented a house in the back of a range. After Rockledge, we moved on to Wampanoag and played most of my amateur golf career there. So to have those two places is special.
Yeah, so I see your home courses growing up were Rockledge and Wampanoag. Did you mostly play these two courses growing up, or were there other courses in Connecticut you grew up playing?
So I grew up initially at Rockledge, and then my parents thought, Rockledge was always in great shape, but the greens at Wampanoag were a little bit faster, more like the tournaments that I'd be playing in. So that really prepared me for the national events. And after graduation, I was, very fortunate that Shuttle Meadow and Hartford Golf Club where they allowed me to be an honorary member. So I played there as well when I played on tour.
Nice. Yeah, so I see you won five consecutive Connecticut amateurs. But tell me about, your first one. You won the Connecticut Amateur when you were 13 years old. Tell me about that.
So it was in Simsbury. My brother caddied for me, and I was really, really nervous. And I remember I shot a great first round. Maybe it was like 73, 74. I can't remember exactly. I'm really bad with remembering my golf rounds. But I do remember that it rained the next day and it got rained out. So I woke up early in the morning. My parents were screaming like, "Elizabeth, you won, you won." And that was when like Tiger and everything golf was exploding. So to grow up in that era, we rode over to collect the trophy and give an acceptance speech. And it was amazing from that point forward. There were reporters. It was Connecticut was amazing to grow up in. Like, you don't see that anymore. Every tournament I played in, there were news crews there, reporters. It was unbelievable to have that atmosphere. So, from there, it really just sort of changed my life.
I see you won the 1999 Connecticut Amateur at Rockledge and the 2005 Connecticut Open at Wampanoag. So how special was it to win these tournaments at your home courses, where you played growing up?
To win the AM at Rockledge was really special. One of the memories I have is the members, they all got this sign and they put it on like, if you've been to Rockledge up top, they have a like a deck, and they hung it down, and it said "Go Liz" or something like that. And I just remember like how special that was, and just it was just lined with people, hundreds of people there supporting me. So to win there in front of friends and family and members, I mean, it meant the world. And to do the same at Wampanoag, I think the Connecticut Open was there. It's hard to win on your home course, and it's a lot of pressure. And it was really special to do that at Wampanoag and to win the Connecticut Open there. And I think I played really well and won by a decent amount. So I need some of that fire back so I can start winning again.
Nice. What was it like to win the 2003 Connecticut Open after someone by the name of Susie Whaley won 3 consecutive Connecticut Opens? Obviously, Susie, she's done a lot of things in golf, but yeah, well, how special was it to win the 2003 Connecticut Open?
I think anything to have your name near Susie Whaley
Mhm.
is an honor, like everything that she's
Yeah,
done for golf in Connecticut, golf in general. She's been a real, played a real role in my golf career now as a PGA professional. She inspired me to get my PGA membership after being an LPGA professional. So now I have dual, and to do that after her, I mean, yeah, it meant a lot and it was special. So I'm grateful for that.
so you're named 2001 AJGA Player of the Year. There's been other, incredible players, Grace Park, Paula Kramer, Inbee Park, Morgan Pressel, who's also won it. But yeah, what did it mean to you to be named 2001 AJGA Player of the Year? And, get this award alongside so many players who've had, successful professional careers.
Well, it's interesting you talk about that. I'm not a big trophy person. Actually don't. I guess I don't remember things because I don't like, and it could be to a fault, like to talk really about my golf career myself. But as we're having an interview today, which is funny, but the one trophy I did keep was that one, and I have it in our basement. And I was working out and reflecting the other day, and to see my name, next to Paula and Grace Park and Vicky Gatz, like these are, and I mean, these are people have had unbelievable careers. And I might be the one where the new person, let's say the Ricky Fowler looks back and is like, who's Liz Janangelo? But you know what, like no one can take that away from me. So it's kind of neat for me now special for my 2 little girls. We have a 10-year-old, soon to be 11, and 7-year-old. So those are things that no one can ever really take away from me.
Nice. Yeah, so how much of an honor was it to play in the 2004 Curtis Cup and represent, your country? And then also, can you tell me about, you got the clinching point to retain the Curtis Cup for America with your singles victory. So tell me about the 2004 Curtis Cup and especially, getting that clinching point.
The Curtis Cup, to represent your country, I
Mhm.
mean, there's no greater honor than that. Especially on that team was Paula Creamer, Michelle Wade, Brittany Wang. Brittany wasn't on that team, sorry. But there were just so many unbelievable players. And I know Michelle was my partner, so I'll tell a funny story where she had these little tees, and she was young at the time, 13, 14 years old. And her dad would, here you had a golf tee, and he would like put the line around it and stick it in the ground. She knew exactly how far to tee it in, but they were called stinger tees. And the top of them were very, very tiny, almost like the top of a pencil. So she's like, you should use these, less friction. You're going to hit it farther. I'm like, all right, so I'll do it. So, I step up on the first tee and surrounded deep amount of people. And we're in England, and I was so nervous and shaking. I couldn't get the ball to stay on the tee. So I'm like, oh my God, all right. So I throw this tee out, and I grab a regular one, but I'm like, yeah, thanks for the advice. I'm so nervous. I can't even get the ball on the tee, but to be able to represent your country, I mean, there's no greater honor, as I said. So to wear red, white, and blue. And I didn't play that well, or I played well, but I didn't really score too many points. So to clinch and to make that final 4-footer, yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the highlights looking back of my golf career.
Yeah, especially given that, you were just inducted into the Connecticut Golf Hall of Fame, last night. You've accomplished so much in golf. Do you ever take time to reflect on all that you've accomplished in golf, or is this not, you don't take time to reflect on all that you've accomplished in your golf career?
You know, I should, but I don't take time to reflect. And I'm trying to, as I mentioned, we have two little girls now, and they have a lot of talent. And I think,
Mhm.
these days, like, there's so much hard work that goes into being successful. It's not about talent, but it's about getting up before school, hitting balls, eat, sleep, drink, golf, to some extent, but you have to work hard. You have to outwork everybody. And I think a lot of people don't understand the dedication. Um, like I remember at Conard, I wouldn't go eat lunch. I'd go run around the track and lift weights, like things like that. So um, I reflect back when I'm trying to teach them and show them, like, you need to work hard, and if you want something, this is what you have to do. That's when I reflect. But I don't just sit back and think about it. I'm not quite there yet.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. All your accomplishments are a result of your hard work. I like that. Um, so yeah, you played collegiately for Duke University. Can you tell me how was your time playing for Duke, and what drew you to play for Duke? Were you looking at any other schools for college, or were you always set on attending Duke?
So I didn't take any visits except for Duke. I was always set on it. I
Okay.
remember I committed my sophomore year, and that kind of set off a trend from that point forward. Um, Everyone seemed to commit early. Duke was ranked academically, I think, fourth in the country at that time, and they were ranked number one in golf. So if someone's offering you a full scholarship, and I tell this to the girls that I teach, and this is the best advice for any college potential college golfers looking today, like, use your golf to get you into the best possible college or university, because you never know what's going to happen. You could have an injury, you could decide you don't want to play golf anymore, but no one can ever take your education away from you. So I decided to go to Duke. I loved every minute of it, and I'm just so proud to say that I graduated from there. I mean, it's just, nothing makes me happier than wearing my Duke T-shirt to the gym. So it's a very special place.
Yeah, and I see you got to play with some incredible teammates. What was it like playing with? You got to play with Brittany Lang, who's obviously, had a very successful career. She won the 2016 U.S. Open, and you also got to play with Amanda Blumenhurst, who had a professional career. She now works with the Golf Channel. So, yeah, what was it like to play with so many incredible teammates at Duke? And do you ever keep in contact with your Duke teammates?
So that's an interesting question. The fact we had so many impressive individuals and it was hard to have great team camaraderie, because we were always working to be the best individually, and
Mhm.
collectively, because of that, we had very successful teams. So we weren't necessarily all perfect friends, but we all respected one another. There's no Amanda Blumenhurst is the nicest person you could ever meet. She's one of those people that's so nice, you truly, like, you can't think that it's possible. So to have her as a teammate, I mean, that was unbelievable. Like, she is a special person, and it's so nice to see her have so much success off of the golf course, and she looks like she's a great mom and wife, and now she's doing unbelievable there. I only had the opportunity to play with Brittany for a year or two. I think it was 2 years at Duke. She decided to turn pro and has had a great career from there. To watch her win the U.S. Open, I think that kind of like had a weight lifted off of, like, the Duke team's shoulders, because they no one had won a major, and she was the first Duke golfer to win a major championship. Jenny Ceciliacorn came close in the U.S. Open years and years ago, but that was great for Brittany and great for Duke to have her do that.
Yeah, you just touched on my next question, but yeah, as you said, Brittany left after 2 years at Duke, to turn professional in 2005. Was your goal always to, remain at Duke all 4 years and graduate from Duke, or did you ever consider, leaving early to turn pro? Um,
So, not really. My freshman year, I remember, like, walking down to the range, and, like, it was hard academically. And they really do truly helps you. If you need help, they want you to be successful. So I just remember being like, wow, this is like a lot. But I think every freshman goes through that. Like, it can be overwhelming, and just to golf isn't just one season. It's, you have your fall and your spring. So it was a lot to manage, but going to Connor and time management and traveling a lot prior was very helpful, and I had supported my family. So I remember kind of crying like, I can't do this, it's too much pressure, all freshman woes. But I never considered leaving early, like to have my degree from there. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And gosh, I hope my kids one day will go there. Like, I might go broke. I think college going to Duke now is about 80,000 a year. So hopefully they'll get a golf scholarship.
Yeah. So in 2006, how tough was it for you to how tough was it failing to qualify for the LPGA Tour and Q school? And did this give you extra motivation going into the 2007 season on the Futures Tour? I asked this because yeah, you failed to qualify for the LPGA Tour in 2006 Q school, but then in 2007, you won your first tournament in the second event. So, did you learn from failing to qualify for the LPGA Tour in 2006 Q school, and did that give you extra motivation going into 2007?
I think having that year to play on the Symetra Tour, Epson Tour, it did prepare me. It taught me how to win. It gave me confidence. I think what holds me back, I don't like to show confidence. I don't like to be really the center of attention. It's like hard for me to handle. And even when I play well, when people are like, "Oh, congratulations," it's like I can't say thank you. It's very hard. So, to have had that confidence boost of doing well on the Epson Tour and winning twice, and that helped me for that first season on the LPGA. And then when I got out on the LPGA, I did lose my card, but I think ultimately, like looking back and talking to my husband who played on the PGA Tour, we didn't really set our goals right. Like, I set my goal, like I wanted to be the best junior golfer in the world. Then I wanted to be the best college player, but I never said I wanted to be the best LPGA player. So I just wanted to get to the LPGA, and he just wanted to get to the PGA Tour. So there's one thing about getting there, and there's one thing about being successful. So I made it to the LPGA, but it's really, really, really hard to keep your card. And I think people don't have an appreciation for how good these players are.
Yeah. So I see that in December 2007, you qualified for the LPGA Tour for the 2008 season. So what did it mean to you when you did qualify for the LPGA Tour for the 2008 season?
I mean, meant the world. I think both years I had to birdie the last hole to get in, and I'm not like an emotional person, and I just remember like just crying and being like just so overwhelmed and excited, and there was so much hard work that went in and into that. So then I went on and didn't have I had a bad shoulder, and I have a bad hip, and kind of injury sort of got to me, and I met my husband and decided to go other ways and to stop playing professionally, which was a great decision. But to have had 2 years on the LPGA Tour was amazing.
So yeah, talk to me. Tell me about how difficult was it to be a full-time professional on the LPGA Tour, and travel around and play in tournaments all over the country.
So I'm a pretty like positive and upbeat person, and it all the travel, and it was very lonely. It's hard. Like, you see these guys on the PGA Tour, they can bring their family, they can bring their spouse, and to be honest, like when I would see, a player and her caddy, and like maybe they were married and they had a baby and have to like jam them into a hotel room traveling week to week, I was like, you know what, like I don't want to be like that. And it was like depressing, like it was sad, and it was lonely. So I just realized, like I went to Duke, I can do anything I want. Like I had that inner confidence that my parents did give me, the belief in myself. And, you look at, mental health is a big issue now, and everyone's talking about it. And one of my friends that was on the Curtis Cup, she actually, the sad story, she ended up taking her own life because she was so depressed. And, I don't exactly know all the details, but I thought, you know what, like, there's so many things we can do. Why stay out here and try to make putts? I can do something else and be happier. And so that kind of like set off a siren in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go do something else. So now we, have an amazing husband and two great little girls, and they get to teach golf for a living and get paid if I give a good lesson or a bad lesson.
Nice. Yeah, so you're currently an assistant golf pro at the Mill River Club on Long Island. So what is it like being an assistant golf pro? And can you also tell me a little bit about your passion for teaching now?
So it's great. I work with my husband. So we own the golf shop at the Mill River Club, and the members are amazing. They support us and our kids. It's great. They come to camp in the summer, and we have them with us, and I love it. And to teach them and to teach the members and to see the greatest gift I can give somebody is the gift of learning how to play, because once they can see that they can hit the ball in the air, that could be a game changer. They may not have had a hobby. They may needed to have done something with their spouse. Let's say their spouse plays golf and that could reconnect them. But like to give them the gift of golf, I mean, it's amazing. And it just brings so much joy to me. And to see the little kids have fun and play golf, like play golf with their family. I don't necessarily, I enjoy teaching kids, but nothing makes me happier than seeing a young child out there playing with their parents. So, I love it. I'm so grateful to be at the Mill River Club, and it's been amazing.
Nice. So tell me about your family. I believe your husband is also an accomplished player. And also, what is it like raising your two daughters? Do they play any sports or do they have any hobbies? Yeah, and how do you support your daughters in any hobbies that they have?
So you mentioned my husband. So yes, he played on the PGA Tour and the nationwide Buy.com tour for like 11-ish years. He's a senior now, the senior PGA championship in Michigan. So this will be his fourth major championship. So it'll be so much fun to go support him and have our girls watch him play, with the best golfers in the world. They watched him play at Bethpage. He actually, in the PGA championship, he beat Tiger in the first round. So they
Oh
always
wow.
kind of, it's something cool to say that my dad beat Tiger. So they love that. Um, our girls love golf. They don't have the bug yet, I'm hoping, but we're not pushing. I don't need them to be the greatest golfer in the world, but golf is such a great lifetime sport. I just want them to be decent and enjoy it and socially play. Our little one is really good at gymnastics, so I love watching her do that, and she's getting pretty good. And the big one's really good at everything. She plays golf, tennis. They took up skiing. I mean, they're not afraid to do any sports, but she's very musical as well. So I grew up playing the trumpet. She plays the trumpet now. So we really let them dabble in whatever they like, and hopefully they'll find out what their passion is, and we'll just fuel that fire.
Nice. Yeah, I like that you're there to support them, not push them just towards golf. So you're a teen prodigy in Connecticut, and there's another teen prodigy in Connecticut right now, Arabella Lopez. She was the youngest to win the Connecticut Women's Amateur this year at age 13, and she was also named this year's Connecticut Women's Player of the Year. So you were a teen prodigy, but what is it like for you to see there be another young golf prodigy in Connecticut for women's golf?
Connecticut golf's in great hands. I met Arabella for the first time last night at the Hall of Fame dinner and was able to, it sounds awkward, but to present her with the Liz Janangelo Caron Player of the Year trophy. So that was like really touching. And everything's full circle. So she said that she was inspired by me. So, I mean, that really makes my heart happy. So she pulled me aside and she's like, you were so good and set so many records. It's so nice to have records that I can look towards to hopefully beat. And you know what? That's amazing. And I want her to beat it. And I want her to go onto the LPGA tour if that's what she likes, and just be as successful as possible. But she's a great young lady, has her head on straight. I know we were texting. I'm sure she can teach me a few things about how to work this blog better and use Zoom better on this. But she's a great person. I hope to help her in any way possible.
Nice. So I see that you play in the Connecticut Women's Open every year still. Do you get to compete much still? And how is your golf game currently?
So I do compete in all the Met section events, the Met PGA events. So I was the Met PGA Player of the Year for the last 3 seasons. I don't really play or practice that much. I only play in the tournaments. Sounds terrible, but just really teach a lot and make sure that the members are taken care of at Mill River. And I do love going back and supporting the Connecticut Open every single year. I do the best that I can if it works out schedule wise. I'm always there and happy to attend. I think there's been a few close calls. I might also have the record for number of seconds in the Connecticut Open, but hopefully, it'd be great if maybe I play well in one of these in the next few years and show the young kids how to do it.
Nice. Yeah. So my final question, I saw when you were a rookie, you did an interview with the Golf Channel saying that Diet Coke and McDonald's ice cream were your favorite foods. So what kind of ice cream do you enjoy? And are those still, some of your favorite foods or not anymore?
So it was a bad addiction to Diet Coke. Had to cut it off. I can do one Diet Pepsi a day without being hooked, but I cut off the Diet Cokes, too many. Inflation has hit McDonald's pretty hard. I think the ice cream cones went up to like almost $3 where we live.
Oh, well.
So speaking on the Yasso bars, easy access. I can't, be running to McDonald's all the time with the kids.
Yeah.
So I've been doing those lately.